Hi, I'm Don, 36, and last week my brother posted a photo captioned, "Family only. No troublemakers." 10 minutes later, the post was gone and I had 90 missed calls. It started 2 days before New Year's Eve. I was buckling my daughter into her booster when my phone buzzed. It was a text from my mother, Dawn. "After discussing with your father, we think it's best if you and the kids skip the year-end party. It's family only this time, less drama." I read it twice. Then a third time. "Family only." My daughter looked up at me with her gap-toothed smile, oblivious. Sneakers muddy from schoolyard tack. My son, 5, hummed the Jaws theme from the back seat like it was a lullaby. I called my mom. "Don, don't start," she said immediately. "It's not about you. It's about tone. Your energy. The kids are loud. People need rest. It's a party," I said flatly. My dad's voice chimed in on speaker. "Of course. Son, you know your mother's blood pressure spikes with tension. Let's keep the peace. We'll do something with you and the kids later." Later in my family meant never. So I said, "It's family only. Just not us." The silence that followed was a clink of a spoon against a mug. "My mother's tell. You've been difficult," she said. "Always with the deadlines, the money talk. You bring tension. This is a celebration." I swallowed the 1,000 responses that fought to escape. I'm a screenwriter. I build stories from chaos. But real-life silence, that's a harder edit. "Okay," I said. I hung up. "Are we seeing Grandma?" my daughter asked. "Not today," I said. "She's tired. Can we make our own party?" "Yeah," I said. "We can. We got paper crowns from the dollar store." I let the kids glue glitter until the floor sparkled like Vegas. We made boxed mac and cheese and watched Frozen twice, even though my son insists Olaf is scary. That's our New Year's magic. Later that night, I was on the couch scrolling when I saw the post. My brother, Mark, in a new sweater. My parents' living room, the lights I strung up still in place. The table overflowing with food I recognized because I helped plan the menu last month. The caption, "Family only. No troublemakers." I stared at it. At the comments. "Gorgeous family. Love this tribe. Where's Don?" An aunt asked. Mark replied with a winking emoji. "Probably writing drama." I stared at the phone, then flipped it face down. Inhale, exhale. I didn't grow up with drama. I grew up absorbing it. Being the fixer. The oldest. The one who picked up the cake when someone forgot a birthday. The one who paid the dentist bill when their insurance mysteriously didn't cover anything. Quietly. Always quietly. Mark was the easy one. Varsity sports. Natural charm. "He's going to run a team one day," Dad said. "Don will write about it," Mom added. They laughed. So did I. When I sold my first script, I used the money to help my parents with property taxes. "We'll pay you back," they said. They didn't. "Family doesn't count dollars," Dad said. But I kept track. Not in anger. Just in case. Over the years, I covered Mark's parking tickets, Dad's temporary car lease, Mom's dental work, and a few mysterious debts with vague explanations. I helped because that's what family does. Until family no longer included me. The caption stung. No troublemakers. I hadn't caused trouble. I'd simply stopped absorbing it. I said no a few times. And suddenly I was the problem. The comments rolled in. An uncle posted, "Where's Don and the kids?" Mark wrote, "They're working on their drama." That one hit. At 9:14 p.m., I opened the post again. And I left a comment, "Congrats, Mark. Looks amazing. Since it's family only, just a heads up, mortgage, insurance, and property taxes are all yours now. I'm out." 30 seconds later, my phone buzzed. And buzzed. And howled. Missed call. Mom, decline. Dad, decline. Mark, decline. Group chat. Don, delete that right now. Mom texted, "I'll explain. Let's talk tomorrow." Mark commented under the photo, "Dude, not the place." I replied, "It literally is." Then I uploaded for screenshots to the family group chat. Not to the public post. I'm not vindictive. But family, they get the truth. Quietly. For screenshots, dates, transfer amounts. Notes in the memo line like, "Root canal heater repair, Q3 property tax shortfall deposit for Mark's engagement venue." I didn't add commentary. I just ended with "cleared." Then one more comment on Mark's post, "Happy New Year. Boundaries start now." 10 minutes later, The post disappeared. 10 minutes after that, I had 90 missed calls, and that's when the story really began. Asterisk the morning after the post vanished, the calls slowed to a trickle. My phone screen showed 146 unread messages across various group chats, plus a new one I'd been added to at 11 a.m. titled Parents Only Virgin. There was also a DM from Mark, "We can fix this." Brunch. I scrolled instead. That's my rule. Read first. Respond later. Collect the beats before you pick a scene. Family chat. 10:01 p.m. Mom, you love hurting me. You always have. 10:03 p.m. Dad, what are you? A bank. This is family. 10:07 p.m. And Carol, kids shouldn't be punished. Don, think of your mother's heart. 10:12 p.m. Cousin Jana, TBH, I didn't know you covered all that. That's a lot. 10:19 p.m. Mom, Hannah, stay out of this. 10:22 p.m. Mark, numbers are wrong. 10:23 p.m. Me, they're your numbers. Silence for 68 minutes. Then, 11:31 p.m. Dad uploaded a spreadsheet. I'm not joking. A spreadsheet. Excel, bolded. A tab titled Expectations 2026. It had a breakdown of projected family support from me, monthly amounts listed next to utilities, HOA, even Netflix. I wish I were making this up. 6:17 a.m. I replied, delete that tab. Delete the assumption. At 6:22, Mom called. This time, I picked up. The kids were giggling in the kitchen, still wearing their paper crowns from last night's glitter and mac feast. The noise made me braver. She skipped hello. What was last night? She snapped. You humiliated your family. I kept my tone even. You humiliated me first. You banned me and my kids from a party and called it family only. You called me a troublemaker. That was Mark's caption. She said defensively. You liked it. I replied. You read too much into things. She huffed. I'm a screenwriter. I said. I read what's on the page. Silence. Then listen. This is simple. I'm not your ATM. I'm not your witness. I'm your son. And I'm a father. That means I have to model how to be treated. We never asked for much, she lied. You asked for my name when you needed paperwork. You asked for my money when the tax bills came. You asked for my silence when Mark needed to look like a hero. I enabled all of you because it was easier. You're being dramatic. I'm being boring. I'm saying no. She softened, suddenly. We'll pay you back. Good. I'll send a number. Monthly, with receipts. You can Zelle. If you're late, there's a fee. That fee goes to your grandkids' college fund. You charge interest on your own parents. You charged interest on my sanity. She didn't hang up. She cried. Not wailing, tearful crying. The kind where the voice still works between breaths. Your father tried his best, she whispered. We just wanted you clothes. No, I said. You wanted me useful. That's different. We didn't know the trust papers would upset you, she mumbled. You copied my signature. It wasn't forged. It was copied, she repeated like that made it gentler. I didn't consent, she paused. Then, I'll buy later. We'll talk. No, I said. You come here. 2 o'clock. No speakerphone. No surprise relatives. She sighed. Fine. At 2:05 p.m., they stood at my door looking like the opening ceremony of Disappointment Olympics. My dad's jaw was set. Mom held a folder. They sat on my thrift store couch. Toys under the coffee table. One sock on the lamp. Dad started. You've made your point. Good, I said. Here's mine, formally. I handed over the papers. The first, a ledger. 3 years of receipts. Transfers. Totals. Labeled. The second, the 2-page family operating agreement. Mom skimmed the title. Rolled her eyes. Oh, for heaven's sake. I kept going. I will not cover your mortgage, utilities, or household bills. Emergencies must be declared before the deadline, not after. If I choose to help, it's by written agreement. My name will not appear on any legal document without signed consent. Do not exclude my children from family events to punish me. Mom handed them back. We're not signing anything. You don't have to sign, I said. You just have to know these are the terms for interacting with me now. Dad scoffed. You think you can run the family like a writer's room? No, I said. But I can choose if I'm in the room at all. He glanced at the totals. Flinched at one in particular. This is exaggerated. It's accurate, I said. I can print bank statements if the fonts scare you. There's no need to be disrespectful. Respect is numbers plus behavior, I said. Numbers say I've been covering. Behavior says you pretend I haven't. Mom shifted tactics. We're proud of you. We brag about you all the time. Then stop mocking me when I'm not in the room. And stop calling me a troublemaker. That's when Mark texted, "You're insane. Come meet me now, dude. Seriously. We're family." I put the phone face down. Tell Mark to read the chat. I'm not meeting him in a parking lot to be told I'm sensitive. Dad looked smaller then. Like he'd shrunk under his own weight. We didn't plan well, he said. We assumed you'd be around. I am around, I said. I'm just not on autopay. Then something I never expected happened. Mom opened her folder and slid out a third-grade card I made. Glitter glue. My crooked drawing of our house. Inside, "I'll always help you because you're my mom and dad. You promised," she said. I stared at the card. I was 8, I said. I also promised to become a pirate. She half laughed. Then fully laughed. A small, honest thing, okay, she said. Asterisk. How do we do this? Like adults, I said. Clear rules. Clear requests. Boundaries respected. Dad nodded, slowly. And the truss. Redo it. Lawyer it. My name stays off unless I'm in the room. He sighed. Fine. They left just after 3. It wasn't warm, but it was real. That night, Mark texted again. A full paragraph about optics and family values. I typed one line, "Start with $200 this Friday. Every Friday. No skips. You miss. The plan resets at 0. He wrote back, "You're unbelievable." I typed a thanks. Then I put my phone away. Asterisk Friday came. And with it, a Zelle alert. Mark had sent $200. In the memo, bite me. I didn't respond. It was progress. Incooperative, grudging, and immature progress, but it was money. On time. No skips. I logged it on the spreadsheet I now kept, titled Boundaries Ledger Active. I added a note, petty but prompt. At 9:45 a.m., my mom texted a photo of a handwritten budget. It was scrawled in pink ink on lined paper, with lopsided columns labeled needs, wants, and health. In the margins were doodles of stars and a confused cat. She wrote, "We're learning." I stared at it for a moment. Not because it was impressive, it wasn't, but because it was real, messy and flawed and finally honest. I wrote back, "Me too." By Monday, my parents had transferred $50. For gas, Dad wrote. My jaw tensed. The amount wasn't what hit me. It was the act, unfamiliar, awkward, like watching someone try to walk after years of sitting. I added it to the sheet. At work, I finished a draft I'd been stuck on for months, the slow-burning family drama with a brittle mother, a charming brother, and a quietly unraveling fixer in the center. Sound familiar? The ending had always eluded me. But now, with receipts and resolve under my belt, I found it. Spoiler, the fixer stops fixing. That same week, my daughter brought home a drawing of our family party, glitter blobs with legs, paper crowns, a big yellow sun, and a speech bubble that read, "Boundaries are fun." I taped it to the fridge. Then came Thursday. The family chat lit up like a 4th of July sparkler, and Carol posted a link, an invitation to Mark and Kara's engagement reboot party, because apparently, the last engagement didn't fully capture their essence, whatever that meant. The invite was elaborate. Black tie, catered, open bar, and one line in bold italics, "We kindly request no drama this time. Let's keep this night beautiful. No drama, right?" Mom followed up with a personal message. "Of course you and the kids are invited. We hope you can make it." I stared at it for a full minute. Hope you can make it. After telling me to skip the family party 5 days ago, my thumb hovered over the keyboard. Instead, I took a breath and called Rick. Rick is my uncle, my dad's brother, a structural engineer who's built more homes than my dad has changed passwords. He's the guy who sends birthday cards with $50 inside and a note that says, "Buy something dumb and fun." He'd been mostly silent during the family drama years, distant, not absent, but always watching. When he picked up, his voice was warm. "Donnie, to what do I owe the surprise? Do you remember the last time you said, 'Family gets complicated, but math doesn't lie'? I say that every Thanksgiving, usually after your father talks about crypto." I laughed. I need a neutral third party. Someone who won't panic if I say the word spreadsheet. He didn't hesitate. Tell me everything. I did. I sent him the receipts, the trust doc with the wrong D-loop, the payment history, the glitter crown photo, the memo fields L screenshots. He didn't say much at first. Finally, he exhaled. You've been underwriting the entire performance. They built a play and cast you as the stagehand. Exactly, I said. I'm tired of sweeping glitter off a stage I don't get to stand on. He chuckled. You want my advice? Always, show up. Bring the kids. Bring the crowns. Bring your whole self. But bring terms. Not silence. Terms. That word stuck. That Saturday, we arrived at the engagement reboot in our version of black tie. My daughter wore a tutu and a glitter sash that said Queen of Boundaries. My son had a cape made from a pillowcase and declared himself Captain No Drama. I wore my best suit jacket over jeans and carried a tote with printed receipts. Literal and emotional. The venue was fancy. Crystal centerpieces. Champagne fountains. A live trio playing Coldplay covers on cello. Because of course, we walked in, and I watched heads turn. Some curious. Some cautious. Some judgmental. Like I was the neighborhood raccoon who somehow got in with an RSVP. Mark spotted me and strode over with that grin that once worked on every adult in the room. Hey bro, he said, pulling me in for a half hug. Glad you made it. Of course, I said. Mom approached seconds later, arms outstretched. Sweetheart, the kids look adorable. My daughter whispered, Grandma smells like gardenias. I whispered back, it's her nervous flower. We took our seats. My name was spelled wrong on the place card. Dan instead of Don. A small jab or a big mistake. I didn't care. The night rolled forward as speeches, toasts, slow dancing. Mark got on the mic at one point and made a joke about keeping the peace this time. I raised my glass politely. My kids colored under the table. After the cake, lavender lemon with edible gold leaf. Mom pulled me aside. You've made your point, she said quietly. I'm not making a point, I said. I'm living the new draft. You always did love rewriting things, she said, lips tight. Only when the old version didn't work. Then she reached into her bag and handed me an envelope. This is from your father. Inside a check. Handwritten. $2,000. The memo read, partial repayment. I blinked. Mom said, we'll send more. We're trying. That's when I realized something. They weren't changing for me. They were changing because I changed the rules. Later that night, my son dropped a crown in the champagne fountain. My daughter called a groomsman Sir Sparklepants. We left before dessert, quietly, on purpose. The next morning, the group chat name changed again. It now read, The Family. No italics. No sarcasm. Just a shift. I didn't reply. Instead, I poured coffee into my dinosaur thermos and packed 2 lunch boxes. One had a sticky note inside. You're the best crown maker in the world. My daughter's handwriting. Lopsided but perfect. That week, I turned in my screenplay with a new title. Quiet Fire. The protagonist. A father who stopped funding a fantasy and started building something real. The first Friday of the new year arrived with something I didn't expect. Silence. No requests. No guilt-flavored voicemails. No just a small thing texts. It was eerie. Like someone hit pause on a movie that used to play nonstop in the background of my life. I almost didn't trust it. By noon, Mark sent his weekly $200 transfer. No memo this time. Just the clean numbers and the name, Mark Davis. It hit different. I logged it on the spreadsheet, highlighted in green, and leaned back in my chair. This is what progress looked like. Petty, slow, begrudging, but consistent. My daughter watched me highlight the row. Did Uncle Mark get an A plus? She asked. No, I said. But he passed. Then my phone buzzed. And no number. I almost ignored it until I saw the preview of the voicemail transcription. Don, this is Kara. I know this is unexpected, but can we talk? I need your help. For real this time. Kara, my brother's fiancée. I hadn't spoken to her one-on-one since their first engagement. Back when she called me the chill older brother and asked if I could recommend good baby names for fictional characters. We bonded briefly over our mutual exhaustion with Mark's family pose for the camera energy. I called her back. She picked up immediately. Hey, she said, voice tight. So, I know you don't owe me anything, and I totally respect the boundaries thing. Honestly, I admire it. But I'm in a situation. I stayed quiet. Let the words come to me. It's not about Mark, she added quickly. It's about the prenup. That got my attention. I found out they wrote one, she continued. I'm not mad they have one, I get it. But Mark didn't write it. Your dad did. And your mom helped. And it's wild, Don. How wild? Like, if we get divorced, I lose access to everything we build together even if it's mine. They made him include a clause that says any future investments from your side of the family count as his inheritance, not shared marital assets. It's buried, but I read it twice. My jaw tightened. So why are you calling me? Because your name is in the document. I froze. What? It says if you elect to resume family financial contributions, they may be considered as retroactive support to Mark's household, and therefore not subject to spousal claim. In plain English, they wrote a clause to protect any money I gave them for him from ever benefiting Kara in the event of a split, which means they were already planning to funnel money through me again. I laughed. Not a funny laugh. The kind that tastes like rust and old mistakes. They're betting on me coming back, I said. Done, Kara said gently. They're counting on you staying soft. She sighed. Listen, I'm not asking for legal advice. I already have a lawyer. I just thought you should know. Because if they're still trying to cash in your loyalty, you deserve a heads up. Thanks, I said. Oh, she added. And I'm not signing that version. I'm rewriting it. With my own lawyer. So if the wedding gets called off, it's not because I don't love Mark. It's because I'm done pretending your family is harmless. We hung up. I stared at the wall for a while. Then I pulled up the prenup Kara had sent because yes. She mailed it immediately after. And there it was, Clause 18, Line 12, my name, my money, their fallback plan. That night, I didn't sleep much. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out how deep the rabbit hole went. My parents hadn't just excluded me, they'd embedded me. As a tool, a bank account, a failsafe. Saturday morning. My daughter woke me up by jumping on my chest wearing 3 crowns and yelling triple queen. My son followed, singing Let It Go off key and dramatically holding a sock like a microphone. I got up, ate waffles. Real ones, not frozen. The good kind that require separating eggs and using to bowls. Because that's what healing looks like sometimes. Whipped egg whites and the scent of vanilla extract before 9 a.m. I didn't tell them about the prenup. They're kids. They just need waffles and a dad who laughs at their sock concerts. But I did make a decision. That afternoon, I drafted a letter. Not an email. Not a text. A letter. Simple. Direct. Dear Mom, Dad, and Mark, I saw Clause 18. I know you're still trying to make me your backup plan. So here's mine. I will never resume family financial contributions. Not now. Not later. Not in retirement. Not in probate court. This is not anger. This is clarity. If Mark and Kara move forward, I wish them peace. But I won't be underwriting a marriage I wasn't even invited to support. And if you try to invoke me again legally or emotionally, I will go public, quietly, but completely. Don't test me. With firm boundaries, done. I printed it, signed it, took a photo, mailed the original. Then I posted the photo cropped to my private accountability group chat with 2 other divorced dads and 1 rogue therapist who uses memes as healing tea. OLS. Caption, boundaries, not just glitter anymore. That Monday, Kara texted me again. I showed Mark the letter. He didn't take it well, but he's starting to understand. Thank you. I replied with a single crown emoji. She replied, if this wedding happens, you're getting a real invite. With glitter. Later that week, I got an email from my mom. Subject line for the record. The body was 1 sentence. We won't speak of money again. Progress. Asterisk by the time spring rolled in. The family group chat had quieted to the point of being quaint. It was mostly forwarded articles from Aunt Carol, the occasional recipe chain, and a suspicious number of minion memes from Uncle Glenn. The silence wasn't peace, not exactly, but it was order. Like a house after a storm, you sweep, you patch what you can, and you hang a note on the door that says ring only if you mean it. Mark's wedding was postponed. Official reason, venue scheduling issue. Real reason, Kara's prenup revisions caused a full-scale meltdown. My brother spent 2 weeks pouting about trust and why are you acting like I'm the villain. But Kara held her line. Eventually, they agreed to a new draft, neutral lawyers, clear terms, and no backdoors named Don. I wasn't invited to that discussion, but I got a thank you card in the mail from Kara a month later. Handwritten, simple, thank you for showing me how to hold a line. I used to think boundaries were mean. Now I think they're love with structure. You're a good man, Don. I put it on the fridge under a magnet shaped like a grumpy cat. April brought more outbursts. Dad sent me an Excel file of his attempt at a family budget. It had formulas that didn't work and headers that said maybe groceries, and asked Don if this is real. It was a mess, but it was his mess, not mine to fix. I replied with one line, looks good. Keep refining, you've got this. Mom started texting photos from her morning walks, not guilt traps, not passive-aggressive updates, just actual photos. A tree in bloom, a weird squirrel, a bench with a plaque that said, "Sit like someone who knows their worth." One day she sent, "Thought of you when I saw this." So did I. Mark kept paying $200 a week. No skips. By July, he upped it to $250. I didn't ask why. I just logged it. In the memo, one said shoes for the kids. I didn't reply. But I did buy the shoes, light-up sneakers for my son, sparkly slip-ons for my daughter. They wore them until the lights died, and the glitter wore off. By August, the spreadsheet reached 52 rows. A full year, one night. I did a tab titled, Paid in Full. And I sent Mark a message, "You've met the number. We're square." He replied, "Does that mean I'm off the hook forever?" I wrote back, "It means if you need help, you'll have to ask, not expect." He sent a thumbs up. That was more grace than I thought he had in him. I wasn't waiting for an apology anymore. I wasn't writing characters who'd never exist just to feel better about who they couldn't be. Instead, I was doing something new, building a life that didn't run on resentment. My apartment stayed small, but we painted the wall behind the couch turquoise and added a shelf shaped like a boat. We got a second-hand dining table that wobbled until I shimmed it with cardboard and my daughter's glitter tape. Every meal felt like a declaration. We exist, we eat, we matter. And one Friday night, my daughter asked if we could host our own reboot party. For what? I asked. She shrugged. For us, for now, for fun. So we did. I invited exactly 6 people, my kids, Kara, Rick, my best friend Javi from college, and Kareem, my mentor who'd once told me, "You write like you're trying to fix your parents." He laughed when I served boxed mac and cheese with truffle salt and sparkling apple juice in wine glasses. "This is elite dad energy," he said. Rick toasted me with a ginger ale. To the Don we always knew was in there now out loud. Kara wore a crown. So did my kids. So did I. After everyone left, I tucked the kids in and stood by the window with a mug of decaf. The city was quiet. The inbox was empty. The story of my story was still being written, but for the first time, I wasn't writing around other people's needs. I was drafting something clean, with honest characters, and a lead who said no when he meant it, who didn't pay for peace, who didn't fund his own erasure, just a father, a man, screenwriter. Me. And when next December came, and someone inevitably posted a family photo with the caption "Family Only," I smiled. Because I finally knew, we'd already had our party. We had glitter, we had crowns, we had rules on the fridge, and we had peace that didn't cost me my voice. This story didn't end with forgiveness or revenge. It ended with freedom and waffles. And I'll take that over applause any day.